administration is not willy-nilly. It's not supposed to be willy-nilly. It's supposed to be, there's supposed to be an order. Things are supposed to be in place. Things are supposed to be compartmentalized. You know what I mean? There should be an order. And we don't have an order. It's high school mentality. It's our friends, our group, your group, and we're just 50,000 people. There's no way. And when you do the numbers, there is no way we should have this much separation from a handful of people. We have the population is half the size of Penn State, the stadium, when Penn State Stadium, and that's the number of people in our capital city, and we having a census done. We need to have a new type of census to where it doesn't infringe on people's right, but we need to know as much as we can about each and individual so we can respond to situations and circumstances, and we know better who our human resources are in the collective. Some people are homeless and they still have skills embedded, but if we don't go to that person and say, what would you like? Where? Let me see what your skills were. Some of these people were veterans in the services with skills. We must rely on. There's natural resources and then there's human resources. It's up to me as mayor to see how they can help with turn this ship.
And that's an interesting point that you bring up briefly, and then we'll send it back to Edward. But there's been some discussion about, say, like the Broad Street Market, and questions about um, inclusive contracting with the minority women, disadvantaged business contracting community, and wanting to make sure that we have these types of businesses, normally small businesses, included in any project. Now, I know that you have talked about the Amish because, they have a lot of businesses in the Broad Street Market, and they are, very proficient and well known as proficient builders. But what about the MWDBE controversy about the Broad Street Market and usage of these, making sure that, to the extent possible, that they are included?
Well, there's a sense of urgency. If you have a sense of urgency to get something done, there's a plan A, plan B, plan C, and I think we're about plan D right now. To where there was plan C or plan B, and they had a manager who took all the money. So that wasn't in the plan, but it happened. And these are the type things that I'm trying to avoid if you want it open.
So how can we avoid that? Or if you get a manager and there's some checks and balances or anything, or some sort of contract, or if this person does it again, or any future outside contractors do it again, is there some sort of way to hold them accountable?
I feel if the the Broad Street Market is something that we want to build the community on, like it's a community thing. We have to set an example of independence as us coming together and making something happen. I think sometimes that goes further than the contracts. If you want to be part of it, be part of it as a contracting person. But it would be a community based, since it's based on the feeling of community. If you want to get it, instead of having the bickering arguments about whether it's open air, you have to let it happen. The Amish had asked if they would do it for free. Amish, they asked Mayor Wanda, they would do it for free.
That should have been a no-brainer.
This is my point. And then if there's other people who want to help, and it's kumbaya. It's a time where people can get together and and that would bring the synergy, really a real good Christian synergy that the Broad Street Market has always been. And then you make it about love. You make it about a community. You bring it together like that, beyond money, beyond a bid, beyond a contract. Let's work together, bring the masses of hundreds of people to get that done. And it'll make a bigger impact in the community that we love. Black, white, working together. It's not a money thing. It's about getting the things done so we can go back to normal. That's all.
And I
That's
just
all.
wanted to give you an opportunity to explain your position on the rebuilding of the Broad Street Market. And what does that have to do with housing? Well, houses are in neighborhoods, and neighborhoods build communities, and that's a major institution in our
but
neighborhoods.
but it's
So,
more than that. We have an opportunity to bridge more gaps with the Amish, with the Quakers, with the Mennonite. If we talking about rebuilding Harrisburg, I had mentioned to them, would you help in the materials as well as the training to get some of these things? And no, but you gotta get the momentum started. You gotta start with the momentum. And before you know it, we have all of us just doing it. And then we have a synergy of independence, and then we do our own roads, and then we do our own houses, and then we're independent. Then we're poor and steel. Then President Obama started Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, poor steel. They're making aluminum. They're doing it. They're industrial. That's what Pennsylvania is all about. Stop with the other childish things. We are Pennsylvania. We're at number one in agriculture. We've always been. The tariffs wouldn't affect us because we're good. We're good people, and we have to, yeah, and we have to use all of our entities, all of our resources in tandem to get it done. Just be strong about it. We don't have to ask because we're Harrisburg. It represents a lot. Yeah, I mean, we're industrial more than you've ever. I walked to see the steel being poured down, and seen it. I know. I felt the heat. And we have to go back to that. And it's about having a person in the seat who understands history, who understands our legacy in industry and agriculture. And it's vital that we teach our children. Aren't we teaching our kids how to ride a horse? We got the farm show right there. Why? Why when there's a show, and this is about housing too, because when people have jobs, they can afford things. Why when there's a farm show, there's no retail space for the Harrisburgonian in our own house? They're having parties all the time, and we're not invited. The state should grant us 20 retail slots so we can do a lottery in Harrisburg to where people can take those opportunities and make money.
well, you do. I mean, the state farm show belongs to everyone in the state, not just Harrisburg.
But
It
it
just happens to be here.
they mess up our roads as they come. I mean, this this is the house. This is my point. Location, location, location. Respect something of what's going on. Then you're having your parties at our house.
So you're saying Harrisburg residents should probably get some first dibs.
We should be granted 20, whenever they have something like anything there, the boat show. We should have at least 20 vending slots so we can sell lures, so we can sell a boat.
Right, right.
You got to be kidding me. This is what I bring. I bring a way to look at us first. What's going on here? Why aren't we taking part of what's going on? Let's re-gauge ourselves to teach about opportunities that happen right underneath our feet. If if you're on food stamps, you can get in a Civil War museum for free. How many kids are on food stamps? Let's get the bus. Let's walk up there and have hot dogs and learn about who we are. Stop playing. Don't say about money. No, DCNR has education modules K through 12 for free. DEP, Department of all of them have education modules that we don't take advantage of. There's too much redundancy. We have.
Are you sure that's on? Because normally, if it's on, I'll see